What a headshot! What a head!
How's it guys, this is Dayvy, FPL, and welcome back to the Fantasy Premier League video here on my channel. In this video, I will take you guys through my very own transfer plan for the upcoming Game Week 14. So if you guys are new to this channel or simply new to this series, basically what I'll be doing in this video is taking a quick look at Game Week 13, doing a team review, going in depth into each player's performance, because that's going to depend if they stay on our team or actually going to be a transfer out. Then after that, I'll be discussing all the transfer options heading into Game Week 14. Only one free transfer this week and no looks to a hit, so therefore we're going to look to make a significant upgrade to all that cash we have in the bank currently. Now Game Week 13 is not actually concluded yet, we still do have the game tonight, West Ham taking on Bournemouth. Hopefully you do have some returns from our defenders in that game, but please just keep that in mind in terms of injury news for my transfer plan. But with that being said, sit back, relax, and let's get straight into it. So going on to the Game Week 13 team review, and please let me know in the comments down below how your game week is currently going. Are you on a green arrow, a red arrow? Is it looking like a massive game week for you guys? I've seen some massive scores over on Twitter, but also some pretty bad ones. So luckily for my game week, it was a pretty strong game week to be honest. 60 points at the current moment, a game week rank of just below that top 2 million mark, and we currently are sitting on a green arrow up to 280k places. Now we still do have one player to feature tonight. If you guys have more players, don't worry about that red arrow. Hopefully tonight it'll turn green. Then finally, bottom right hand side, one free transfer, 2.9 million in the bank. So as I mentioned in the introduction, hopefully we can make a significant upgrade. Now I'm going to start off on our bench department, and unfortunately the bench is going to give you some spoiler alerts about the rest of my team. For example, the first option there, Nick Pope. You guys know who my starting goalkeeper is right off the bat. But luckily Nick Pope only got 2 points, and benching him was actually the right call to go for. Same could be said about Anderson, benching him only 1 point. Crystal Palace's defense this season doesn't seem to be as strong, but at least he did outperform Gay even though he wasn't on my starting 11. Then Solanke obviously plays tonight against West Ham away. I have benched him, that was a decision I made come Game Week 13's deadline. Lots of you actually went for Solanke, but I'm going to hope that he blanks. Not only is he on my bench, but I do own a West Ham defender, and that's what actually made me bench Solanke. Then the surprise of the game week, obviously Neco Williams on our bench, third on our bench, and managed to get a clean sheet against Liverpool. So at the beginning of this Premier League season, I was not expecting to say that, but now that we have seen Liverpool's bad form over these opening couple game weeks, definitely not as surprised as I would have been, but as a Mo Salah owner, super unhappy they didn't get any returns. Now, I'm not going to beat myself up too much, and I don't think you guys should as well, about Neco Williams. I was always going to be on our bench. Liverpool, even though it was a home game, was always a tough one, and that's why he was going nowhere near my starting 11. But overall, in terms of the bench, obviously dependent on Solanke. If he outperforms maybe one of my starting 11 options, I'll be quite disappointed. But in terms of Anderson and Pope, it was the right calls to actually put them on the bench this week. So I'm going to go on to the starting 11, and you guys know who my starting goalkeeper is. If Nick Pope's on my bench, Danny Ward's in the starting 11, and a massive 8 points returned from him in that 4-0 win over Wolves. Now, if you guys have not looked at the stats for that Wolves-Leicester game, I would recommend going and looking at them. Definitely not one for the kind of stats merchants, as Wolves had so many shots on target, and Danny Ward ended up making 5 saves. Now, unfortunately, 1 save off kind of the 2 save points, and probably would have risen in the bonus points, but at the end of the day, I'll always take 8 points. So super happy that I actually started Danny Ward over Nick Pope. Was a decision going to kind of the deadline. Asked you guys over on my deadline stream. I think most people voted for the Ward-Trippier combination, and that's what we actually went with, or at least that's what I was going for into that deadline stream. But heading on to the rest of our team, unfortunately gets a lot worse than Danny Ward. Cancelo going to start off with his 2-point appearance. And not only was it the clean sheet wipeout, it was Trossard who wiped out the clean sheet, a player we owned about 2 game weeks ago, that came back to bite us. But overall a little bit annoying there, as Man City seemed to control most of the game, ended up winning 3-1. But unfortunately Cancelo only ended with 2 points. Next up, we have Kurt Zouma playing tonight against Bournemouth. So I have a feeling that he might actually do quite well. You guys can comment down below if I'm absolutely wrong. Maybe gets a red card tonight. Touch wood though that he maybe gets a goal and assist, and hopefully a clean sheet as well. But he's actually extra points to be honest, because most players have had their full starting 11s feature. So any points from Kurt Zouma will be appreciated. Then finally we have Trippier. Started Trippier over Anderson. Right call at the end of the day, even though it was only 1 net point gained. I just wanted some coverage from that Newcastle defense because they've actually been on pretty good form. Spurs also been struggling to score, and that's why there was a chance of a clean sheet, but Harry Kane ended up scoring and wiping it out. Now Trippier did start of a great game though. As you guys know, on set pieces always kind of creates chances, and that's why he always is in the bonus points debate. But as you guys can see, Trippier, Cancelo, no points here. Trippier is forgiven, but Cancelo, it's still a bit annoying that he got the clean sheet wiped. But if you guys do think that the defensive department's bad, just wait for the midfield department, starting off with probably the fraud of the game week, Mo Salah. That'll depend on if you guys actually captain him or not. I didn't captain him, but still with under 100% effective ownership, I still wanted him to do well. So what happens? Liverpool go and lose against the worst team in the Prem at the moment, Nottingham Forest. It seems like they really are the Robin Hood, robbing from the rich man cities and giving to the poor, Nottingham Forest. And what does Salah get for being Robin Hood? He gets a massive 2-point appearance. So I don't really know what to say about Mo Salah. His form seems to have dipped off completely. Liverpool at the moment aren't playing a great brand of football, are starting to break down these low block sides. and I actually did have some high expectations for him when I did see the starting 11. The reason for that is that Darwin obviously was going to be out through injury, and that meant that Salah was going to be pushed higher up the pitch, actually started at centre forward for Liverpool, and played the majority of game at that centre forward position. But unfortunately no returns there, but I do feel for you Salah captainers. As soon as I saw the starting 11, I was tempted to actually go for him, but I stuck with the ever reliable Erling Haaland. Now, should you guys actually sell Salah or not, I'm on the bandwagon of kind of not selling him. I think the next couple of games should be quite good for Liverpool, and let's watch him score this week in the Champions League to get our hopes up. So for me, I'm probably going to hold on to Salah, but if you guys do want to sell him, I can understand it. Same can be said about the next option, Wilfried Zaha. Just I don't know what happens with Wilfried Zaha away from home. Only 1 point here, picked up a yellow card as well. Against the Everton side that's XG considered as actually pretty bad. So Crystal Palace seem to be a team that we can't really rely on for attacking and defensive returns. Wilfried Zaha just yet again showing us that he is a little bit hit or miss this season. Does have some nice fixtures coming up, but could be on the way out for someone like a SAKA. But like with most Salah, it's quite hard to actually sell these options. Nice fixtures coming up, not the worst stats in the world. So it depends if you want to take the risk of actually taking them out. Luckily though, we did take a risk on the next option. It's going to be Andreas Pereira, a massive 10 points, 2 assists from him and 2 bonus points, and Fulham getting a nice win. So luckily I did actually start him. The majority of managers I've seen over on Twitter and other sources have actually benched Andreas Pereira. But if you guys did have someone like a Darwin, luckily he might actually come on. So let me know in the comments down below, did you guys actually start Andreas Pereira or did you bench him? I decided to start him over someone like an Andreas or Solanke because I did actually think that Fulham could do quite well in this fixture. Now Leeds for me is a good attacking fixture, and that's why with Mo Salah up next against them, I'm still keeping him, and that's why I started the double up of Andreas and also Mitrovic. So luckily Andreas redeemed our kind of midfield department, actually redeemed our entire team, because 10 points in this game week was absolutely massive. Next up is going to be Phil Foden, and as you guys know, the debate for Game Week 13 was Phil Foden versus SAKA. A lot of debate went into a lot of stats watching, kind of an eye test, also looking at the fixtures. So what ends up happening, both of them get 1 point at the end of the day. Now Phil Foden was because he was actually benched for the fixture against Brighton, came off with about 30 minutes to go, couldn't get any attacking returns, whereas with SAKA, started the fixture, lost the clean sheet, also got a yellow card for diving. So between those two, quite tough to say what's going to happen in the next couple of game weeks, but overall actually quite happy with Phil Foden because he did match SAKA, who had a better fixture. That fixture was going to be Martinelli's fixture. Southampton away seems to be kind of a bogey team for Arsenal over these last couple of seasons. Martinelli only got 2 points for the appearance in that 1-1 draw. Now I guess the thing with Phil Foden is that I did actually take out Trossard for him, and as you guys know, Trossard wiped out the clean sheet. So not only did I have Cancelo losing points, but also on my net transfer gains, I was on a negative. But it is what it is at the end of the day. Never thought that Trossard might actually score. Blanks against Nottingham Forest, but scores against Man City, similar to kind of Liverpool. But overall, in terms of the midfield department, pretty disappointed here. Martinelli especially, even though he is quite cheap, did expect him to get some returns, but hopefully with some nice fixtures coming up in the future, he can give me some returns. Then finally, our forward department, Erling Haaland with a massive 26 points. If you guys actually went for Salah over Haaland, wasn't the biggest damage, but definitely kind of noticeable, and that's why I was happy that I captained the Norwegian. Now in terms of the 2 goals, there might have been some kind of debates about them. The penalty wasn't the strongest penalty. There could have also been a foul in the build-up to Erling Haaland's goal, but at the end of the day, I captained him, so I'm going to take those points. Now yet again, this is another game week that kind of shows to us that you have to kind of hedge your bets positively, because when everyone goes for Haaland and he outperforms your captain, you're probably going to get a red arrow. But I wouldn't get too kind of disheartened. In the future, there will be opportunities to go against Erling Haaland, go against the effective ownership, and hopefully rise the ranks. But game week 13 was unfortunately not one of those game weeks, and only Haaland finished on 26 points. Then our final option will be Mitrovic, who unfortunately lost his extra bonus point at the end of that fixture, and therefore he only got 6 points. Now he actually scored a goal in the first half, and at half time was actually looking to be taken off after him struggling with this injury that he's had. But luckily though, he did emerge from the tunnel, played the second half, just hoping that he will be fit for game week 14. But still, at his cheap price point, ticking along nicely, and therefore no complaints from the Fulham striker. So in terms of our starting 11, you guys can see where the 60 points currently are going to be held. Hopefully Kurt Zuma can do us an absolute massive tonight, get us a goal and a clean sheet, and hopefully a few bonus points as well. Let me know in the comments down below, who do you have tonight? Probably Solanke, might even be a Jared Bowen. Hopefully they do perform well for you, unless it will hinder Kurt Zuma's points. While you're there, let me know how you guys did in game week 13, how many points did you end on, green arrow, red arrow, and where you're currently sitting in the overall ranks. But now going on to the transfer plan for the upcoming Game Week 14, and as you guys would have seen on the bottom right hand side, 1 free transfer and 2.9 million in the bank. Now obviously there's the chance that I actually bank a transfer come Game Week 15 if I want to make a big switch, maybe go for a Harry Kane or someone like that. I could actually just bank the transfer, but it's actually looking quite likely that I do use it for Game Week 14. Now the reason for that is that there are some nice fixtures for Game Week 14, Arsenal vs Nottingham Forest, also have some other teams that have great fixtures, and therefore it might actually be worth using that free transfer to get those nice fixture players in. So we're going to do the transfer plan slightly different to how we usually do it. Usually what we do is we take a player, we want to take them out, we look at replacements, but now I'm going to actually go for kind of a watch list. I'm going to go for options that I want to bring in and who you can actually take out for them. So an example of this will be the first option. It's going to be SAKA from Arsenal with a lovely fixture against Nottingham Forest at home. Now after that he has Chelsea away and Wolves away, which aren't the best fixtures on paper, but with Arsenal playing well at the moment, I do think Saka can still get some returns in game week 15 and 16. So just think back to my midfield department. Who can we take out for Saka? I can't afford Andreas out for Saka, so therefore he's out the window. I'm not going to take out Foden because I just brought him in. Martinelli's a little bit of a sideways move, and therefore it's going to be Salah or Zaha. So currently I might be mad, but I'm going to keep Salah, and therefore Zaha might be the option I take out. Now the reason for this is that Zaha seems to be a little bit hit or miss. Seems to be at home that he performs pretty well. Away from home he doesn't perform that well. But therefore in game week 14 has a nice fixture against Southampton at home, which might be a little bit detrimental. After that though is West Ham away, tough game on paper, but then Nottingham Forest away, which although Liverpool couldn't score against them, I do think Crystal Palace will. So that's why this move might be a little bit sideways. Southampton at home is still a great fixture for Wilfried Zaha, performs well at home, and therefore he could still get some returns. So therefore it comes down to, do you think that Saka outperforms Zaha over the next 3 game weeks? And with those fixtures on paper, I don't really know. But this definitely is one move that I am considering. Zaha unfortunately isn't performing that well, with Saka and Arsenal looking a lot better. So on paper this could definitely be a move that I do. Won't be that much budget that actually gets taken from this, and therefore this is quite attractive. Another option I could actually go for if I want to keep Wilfried Zaha, but I still want to go for this Arsenal assets, could be Gabriel Jesus in. Now Jesus had a pretty quiet game week 13, not in terms of kind of chances, but in terms of overall points. Had 2 big chances and unfortunately didn't convert either. But he's actually a nice little alternative because if I do want to keep Wilfried Zaha in my team, I could take out either Solanke or Mitrovic. So on paper right now, I'm going to take out Solanke because he is cheaper. I want to show you guys that I can afford both of them, and I think that I trust Mitrovic over Solanke slightly more. Fixtures upcoming are Spurs at home, Leeds away, and then Everton at home. Nice fixtures on paper, I guess, for game week 15 and 16, but I simply don't trust that Bournemouth attack. So this could be a move I go for as an alternative to Saka if I do want to target that Arsenal side with lovely fixture at home against Nottingham Forest in game week 14. Now kind of talking about Arsenal, let's go for some defensive options. We've spoken about some attacking options, but the defense is also pretty strong, and therefore Gabriel in, wherever I want to go for, could be an asset. So I mentioned this, Gabriel, Saliba, Ben White, whoever I want to go for, they're all pretty similar to be honest, but I guess Ben White got an assist on the weekend. But Gabriel currently is my favorite choice, and the reason I do like the Arsenal defense is I think these fixtures are better from a defensive to an attacking point of view. Nottingham Forest is basically a guaranteed clean sheet, same as Wolves away in game week 16, and Arsenal's defense is always pretty strong. So therefore if I do want to bring Gabriel in, the player I could take out is a simple option. It's with Neco Williams out, even though he is quite cheap. So this obviously could be Anderson or Kurt Zuma, but I'm going to highlight Williams here because he is the cheapest asset. Now simply won't start Neco Williams even if he has great fixtures on paper, and that's why this transfer looks quite attractive. But saying that though, this is slightly more boring than the other 2 assets. Jesus and Saka definitely have the highest ceiling, whereas Gabriel is kind of a nice safe pick. Now the final transfer to go over, and the reason I've left it till last is because I know that you guys might not favour this move. It's going to be Trent Alexander-Arnold in. Now I know what you're probably saying, Liverpool's defence is simply terrible, but Trent still does offer some attacking threat. With fixtures upcoming against Leeds at home and Southampton at home, there could actually be a clean sheet there, as long as Liverpool do shore up slightly. So yes, this move could actually be on the cards. In terms of the transfer out, it could be Anderson or Kurt-Zouma. Unfortunately, I can't afford Williams to Trent, but he should be a main starter in my team up until that wild card, and therefore losing Anderson or Zuma is perfectly fine. I've highlighted Anderson here though because I do think Kurt-Zouma has the better defense, and Crystal Palace have been very disappointing. However, their fixtures are quite nice upcoming: Southampton at home, West Ham away, and then Nottingham Forest away, similar to Wilfried Zaha, great fixtures on paper. So this is a move that I could actually go for. In terms of the models, they all favour this move. Trent's really high in the projections, and that's why this is quite an attractive option. But if you guys do want to bring Trent in, please wait for the Liverpool game coming up on Wednesday against Ajax, because if he does start and play 90 minutes, he could always be rested like he was in game week 13. But in terms of the transfer options, I think I'm slightly leaning towards the Gabriel option. Nice safe pick there, kind of bring in an Arsenal defender. Guaranteed clean sheets, probably 2 out of the 3, even though they face Chelsea in game week 15. But you guys can let me know in the comments down below, what moves are you making, and what transfer is your favourite out of the 4 that I've currently stated. But this is basically wrap for the video, guys. Hopefully you did enjoy it. Please don't forget to like if you did it, and subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet. But I'm myself, Dayvy FPL, and I'm out. Cheers, bye.